welcome back to the Experience Podcast. It's just me again, and we're continuing on with this commentary of episode number 33, Old Moon with Sticks. This might be well, I'm not sure how I want to split up these last two parts, but maybe we'll just squeeze it all into one. I don't know, that's gonna be too long. So we might have to split up the story because basically we're getting right into the story, the Old Moon with Sticks story. I'm sorry, there was like a very there's a very loud car on the street. I hope you don't hear too much of it. We're just starting up the Old One with Sticks, the official Old One with Sticks story that Dan tells, and it goes on forever, as we know. But as I said last week, they'll often tell me this is their favorite episode they've ever recorded. They think it's the best episode of this show. So, you know, everyone will be the judge of whether that's true or not. So let's get into it. I'm still nursing this sore finger, sorry, and I'm trying to keep it elevated, so it's kind of rough on my shoulder here because I'm trying to keep like my this swollen finger above my heart, for better circulation. So bear with me here. There might be a lot of adjusting. Hopefully, the microphone doesn't pick up too much on it. But let's continue on. We're right around 12 minutes 24 seconds into this episode. It's number 33. So yeah, let's get into it.
No, so I meet up with Mark and his friend group, and they're wandering around campus late at night, as you do. So like,
wait, I'm getting the timeline wrong. This is like whenever, some other time.
This is
not
like,
today.
No, this is like way back.
Okay, yeah.
It's like first fall semester.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
So I decide, sure, I'll wander with them at night, because that's essentially what I was doing, jogging anyway. So like, why not do it with people this time?
Okay.
So we're wandering around. This is on campus.
You have nothing to do?
Yeah.
Let's just wander around?
Yeah, it's like a Tuesday night or something. Like,
oh
what else
my
am I gonna
goodness.
do?
Do your work. Do any work.
No. So he's taking them to this one building.
Wait. Did you say this one building or the Swan building?
This one building. I don't know the name of it.
Okay. Is it the Swan building?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Where is it?
It's over on the basketball route, north.
This basketball route. I gotta take.
It's like behind the police station, but not really. It's like the building next to.
Wait, the new police station or the old police station?
Old police station. It's next to the old. Well, not old. It's next to the north parking deck.
I think I know. It's like part of GTRI or something. Yeah.
And it's this big square brick building, maybe like 5 stories tall, and it's got this fire escape on the back. Mm-hmm. And the deal with fire escapes is, from the bottom, it always looks like you can go up to the top, but that's often like onto the roof. And apparently, before, like a couple days before, Mark and his friend group had seen that the door to the roof was unlocked. So we were going up there to hopefully get on the roof of this building. But of course, as the deal with fire escapes is, it looks like you can get up there, but when you go up there, you find out, oh, the door is locked. I just went up this fire escape for no reason. Might as well go back down and find another high place to hang out in the middle.
Pausing here. Please let me know if this is... Dan's talking about this experience like, normally you see fire escapes. You want to go up to the roof. It's a thing that people do. I'm like, and I'm trying to remember how I was feeling in the moment, but like while we were recording this 5 years ago. But like, is this a thing that I guess I'm a little more reclusive than most people, so maybe I don't explore fire escapes enough. I'm just kind of wondering, like, if this is an actual regular thing that people do, is just like going up and down fire escapes trying to get on the roof. I know people love to get on a nice roof. I guess that's a human nature thing. It's just seeking elevation. Maybe it's like an evolutionary thing, we need to get higher up because of environmental factors, and so we're always like, oh, we climb this fire escape. But okay, let's get back into it. That's me rambling.
Of the night, as you do as a college student. But Mark is afraid of heights, so he stayed at the bottom, and he was like, we were just goofing around. So we go from there to the north parking deck, because that's always open and you can always get to the top and, I don't know, see the skyline or whatever and hang out, be hooligans as you do.
I'm so sad that like art group isn't the thing anymore. I'm so sad. I mean, it was never technically a thing. It was always trespassing, but like now they're actually enforcing it. It's tragic.
That was the architecture. Lots of routes on campus you can go to and be delinquents. Anyways, we're at the north parking deck, and there's this guy skateboarding around or whatever, and Mark is afraid of heights, and some of the girls in the group are, hanging off the edge of the north parking deck. Not hanging off, but, sitting on the railing, because it's a big concrete railing, just being, dangerous, air quotes.
That's hanging off of it, isn't it?
It's not like they were on the outside. I mean, they were sitting on the very top.
Okay.
So,
Well,
I have one push and they're gone, but
yeah.
it's not like they're a hand.
You could kill them, you just didn't.
And there was also this plank of wood that I think it was it was Chase who ended up doing the whole karate break.
Definitely
plank
Chase.
of wood.
It's
Just plank of wood on the north parking deck.
Awesome.
And then they get into the whole you might as well have been freshmen in high school, stealing flip flops and hiding them around the parking deck and where's the flip flop, blah 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 blah, immature stuff.
Is this story going somewhere? I don't know the point of this.
Trust me, it is.
Okay.
Trust me,
You're doing a lot of background.
No,
it's going literally nowhere.
There's so much exposition.
Pausing here, I agree with myself. I'm lost right now. This story. Keep in mind, he's at that episode. We went this story around 6 minutes ago, and it really hasn't even started yet. He said he started the story, but there really hasn't been anything yet. There's so much exposition and so many things you need to know going into it. I don't know, but you know what? Maybe this is why Chandler loves this episode. Okay, let's keep going.
No, this is the story. This is the story. This is the story.
Anyways, something's happening here. You guys just said you went to a roof. That's what it is.
So we're on this roof, hanging around. The skateboard guys skating around. We find this office chair, and of course, the great deal with parking decks is it's one big giant ramp. So you can be on an office chair and go.
Oh no!
Rolling down
the whole way,
all around. So we do that a couple times, and almost hit a car because.
Of course.
And then we find, the only cars that are in the north parking deck at night are the cars that have been there for months and are ticketed by PTS. So we find some of these, and of course they're covered in dust, and so we do some drawings in the dust. And about this time, I remember back. Another step in the story. Another time I'd been on the north parking deck late at night jogging because the north parking deck has stairs. When you're doing exercise, so you climb the stairs to do exercise, just go up and down or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This episode should be called Dan Tells a Story. Keep going, Dan. You're doing great.
So I'm climbing the stairs in the north parking deck late at night before the story, and I'm telling them during them, and this is a tangent before that I told them because the north parking deck is a weird place at night. Because this one time that I had been jogging in the north parking deck up the stairs to the top, there was a group of old ladies. With sticks.
Wait, hold on. Is this the same story as the previous?
This is a story.
This is an anecdote.
Story within a story.
Oh, okay.
On top of the north parking deck, and there are cars because obviously they drove here. It's these bunch of old ladies with sticks hitting the ground rhythmically with their sticks.
You didn't tell me this part.
I don't know.
Well, of course he couldn't. He didn't have 4 hours to tell this. It was a 10-minute walk over here.
They might have been blind, and it was some practicing with your blind people sticks. I do not know. It reminded me of a scene from Daredevil, the Netflix show.
Yeah, but that's it's in a weird location.
Yeah.
It's in a horror movie.
Anyways, so in the story within the story, I kept jogging and went home. And I told this to the people in story number 1.
Okay. The outer story.
Yeah. So we left north parking deck. Well, also North Parking Deck has this one elevator that is the creepiest elevator ever. It's like so sketchy. Like you get in this elevator and you think, oh, this is the elevator that people die in. Like this is the kind of elevator that just drops.
Mm-hmm.
Like reminds you of the whatever haunted hotel at Disney
Tower
World.
of Terror.
Yeah, Tower of Terror, whatever at Disney
It's a good
Land
reference.
or World.
Pausing here because I'm trying to remember like my specific interactions with the parking deck. I don't think I've ever taken this elevator, so I can't speak to that. I've never seen Old Man with Sticks. um, and I will also say I am struggling. I'm kind of dumb, so give me the benefit of the doubt here. I'm struggling to follow this story. The outer story, the inner story, the exposition that isn't exposition, it actually is the story. And I remember at the time struggling with this, and I I still am on a repeat listen. And this is to be fair, I haven't listened to this since we recorded this in February 2019. But man, this is like this is there is stuff. I don't know. I'm speechless. Let's keep going. I'm trying to like clock how much we should do. I don't want to cut too. I'm trying to figure out when we're gonna cut. But okay, let's keep going.
That apparently they're getting rid of and replacing it with the Guardians of the Galaxy thing.
What?
Yeah.
Well, they got money. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
And Mark, being afraid of heights, was also really afraid of this elevator.
Why was he at the top anyway? Should have stayed on the
He
ground.
was just sticking around.
Well, I mean,
with friends.
yeah.
That's Mark.
And if you're in the
That's Mark.
if you're in the middle,
I also want to pause here. Sorry. I've never met Mark. I don't know who Mark is. I'm like trying to while I'm listening, I'm just going through a lot of thoughts. But I'm like trying to remember if I've ever met him. Get this Mark. I don't think I have. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Can't speak to Mark, but it sounds like a great guy. Okay, let's keep going.
of the North Parking Deck, it's not like you're close to falling off of anything.
I'm not saying
So
that.
it's
I'm
a-
just saying I don't know why he didn't just say I'm gonna sit the whole thing out. I'll catch
He's
you at
the
McDonald's.
leader of the group. He's like
Oh, he's
the guy.
the leader. Oh, he's a
Yeah.
leader,
Mark
but he's
is
letting.
not the leader, but he's
Okay,
a very
yeah.
central point.
But he's
Yeah.
letting everyone else kind of do whatever they want in this.
He's
parking
not the
lot?
lead. He's very much not the leader. He's very much like there isn't really a leader.
Yeah.
It's very much like one unit.
Yeah, anyways.
Like if you find one of them, you're probably gonna find the rest.
Okay. Do
So-
people still hang out?
So we do this.
Yes.
So we do this whole
Why
like
aren't you guys with them right now?
because we're here.
I don't know where they are.
Yeah. I mean, I saw
They
Mark
might be
this
scattered.
How
morning.
many people are there?
A decent amount.
At
10.
at the night, it was
10.
like
That's a lot.
maybe 6.
Like that's
people.
like total. There
Oh,
are
but it's
usually
only
at least like 6 or 7
six
at
each
once.
time.
Yeah.
Okay. You rotate.
Then various
through.
people are out.
Okay.
Yeah. So we do the whole trick Mark to get into the elevator, blah 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 blah. Yeah. And then of course we're all petered out, so we're like, all right, let's go to the hammocks on Tech Green.
Okay.
So we go to the hammocks on Tech Green, and well, they get
This is
there.
still, you could be making all this up.
He's not making it.
I don't think
No,
he
no,
is.
this is a true story. You can ask more.
There's so many
You can
random
ask Mark.
details that it has to be.
I think Mark actually might like it, like doing this.
So we go.
But we won't be there. Just
It's the old Atlantic Street that's now paved over with brick because it's not a street and you can't drive cars on. It's
It
a
was
part of
never
campus.
really a street. It was always supposed to be that. You guys are too
No,
young
it was
for that.
definitely a street at one point.
Yeah, but it wasn't meant to be like a mainstream like.
Before Georgia Tech was there, it was a street.
Okay, yes, but once Georgia Tech took over,
Okay, yeah.
which was a long time ago.
Well, it's like Hemp Hill used to go all the way to North Avenue.
Yeah, but that's different because Atlantic kind of was turned into like what it is right now. It's like a pseudo street. Like special events,
Yeah.
they let some cars go through.
I mean, if you look on the Google Maps, you can see where Hemp Hill used to be because there aren't any big trees there. Anyways, so we
so
go
a lot
up
of
there,
investigating on
and
that.
and there's a part of BioQuad with a retaining wall, and we go up on the retaining wall. Of course, Mark's afraid of heights, so we do.
What do you guys? If Mark doesn't like heights, you should go to the Biosec Quad tunnels. That's something to do.
Tunnels?
Yeah, there's a tunnel system that connects
yeah.
those 4 buildings.
Well, you got to get into the buildings first.
You just
and
need to get
that's
into
all-
one, and
yeah.
then you can get into
And then
any
you
of
can
those
get into
4
any.
buildings. So you could just get lost through the tunnels.
Yeah, I know.
That sounds like a great
That's something that
idea.
Mark would like because it's below ground.
But he's also.
Heights is not an issue.
I mean, maybe is he claustrophobic? I mean,
Oh
is that
my
why he didn't like
goodness,
the
he can't go
elevator?
Yeah,
anywhere.
that might have been why I didn't. I don't know.
Maybe
it's not, they're not that
claustrophobic.
claustrophobic. They're like normal size. Like the tunnel is probably the width
Yeah.
of my room.
Ah.
It's a pretty large
Yeah.
tunnel because they have to. It's mainly used for like it's so like all those chemical related buildings can have one loading dock. So
Oh,
you can move a lot of like
there you
large
go.
carts through. That's so it has to be wide. They're not like you're not crawling through tunnels.
I wish. That sounds awesome. Anyway,
So
as
we
you
go
were
to-
saying,
so we go to the
You go to the
tech-
hammocks, yeah.
Yeah, to the hammocks in Tech Green. And of course, there's people in the hammocks, so we wait a little while for people to get out of the hammocks. And while we're waiting, some of the girls go out to fill water bottles or go to the water fountain or go to the bathroom or something like that.
I'm just making
And
sure the mic's good.
eventually, enough of the hammocks clear that we go to the hammocks, and it's like a little bit cold. And I was in one of the hammocks for a while, but I got out, and there's chairs there too, so it's not like I was sitting on the ground or anything. To let some of the girls sit.
what a
I
gentleman.
had a good chat.
Wow.
Had a good chat with
One of the girls?
Andy,
No.
who I hadn't talked with for a while. About
Of course,
stuff.
of course.
Just like, because I didn't really know him that well by then, so I sort of got to know him a little bit. And there was like, of course, there's mulch there, so being immature people, like some of them were like just tossing mulch at people. Anyways, I looked down on the ground at the hammocks and see it's like a. At first, I guess I thought it was a rock, like a white rock. And then closer inspection was like, man, this is probably a piece of tissue. So I pick it up. It was not a piece of tissue. It was a used condom by the hammocks on Tech Green. And that sparked this whole, like, why on earth would you want to have sex?
Okay, let's stop on here. Is
Hammocks
this
at
the
Tech
end
Green.
of the story?
Yes.
Why
That's
did
as
we
far as
need-
you got with me. I don't know if it keeps
Well, I mean-
going.
well,
Why
I
do
mean,
we need
like, other
all
than-
these other details? There's so many
Well, this
irrelevant
was such
details.
a long story to get to.
So
There
much.
was a used condom by the hammocks.
Well,
In a public
say,
setting.
And
I'll
yes.
say, when I
So
started
many
the
useless-
story, that part of it was not in my mind when I was first telling it to Chandler.
What was
I
the
was
point?
And we were
the
just
reason
talking
I-
about fire escapes.
No, we were talking about Bud's house because Chandler didn't know where it was. So I'm like, I'm going to tell him about Bud's house. And okay,
But here's the, that's fine. But this is now the second time you've told the story.
Was here? Did you guys hear that moan that I gave? Like, of like, I'm just like, I agree with my past self. I'm like, this has such. There are too many details. You can, you realize, guys, this story took 15 minutes. It took 15 minutes to tell, and it was like a one-sentence story. I mean, I understand there's a lot of back and forth. It wasn't really 15 minutes, but like still, I mean, there is a lot going on. We're gonna keep going for a little bit longer. We still have half the episode to go. Somehow he did get through the longest story ever. And yet, which I called it that in the description. But somehow we still have over half the episode to go. Well, we're gonna keep going for a little bit longer, and then we'll look for a good stopping point, and we'll wrap that up. We'll wrap this part 2 commentary up, and then we'll be on to the last part. I'm just like, sorry, I'm like, that's with my swollen finger, and I'm trying to, that's taking off the tape for it. Okay, let's keep going.
And you knew where you wanted to go, but you still started in the
started
useless
from
part.
the very beginning.
Which I just wanted to even say, I woke up that morning and
well, so the point of the Bud's house part of the story is while we were walking around on North Campus,
today.
no, before.
God.
On North
Before.
Campus, during the story. I guess this is me telling a story about a story I told Chandler, which itself had the small story about the old lady sometimes.
Which was not relevant. You could have skipped that.
But that was still a good story.
That was a
because
good
what
part,
the
'cause
hell?
I didn't tell him that.
Yeah, okay, fine.
I thought I might as well share that. But the North...
You
but
mention what we had for lunch that day? I mean, that might have...
I
It's
don't
salmon.
remember.
It's
Anyway,
salmon.
the North parking deck, as we were walking around the North parking deck, talking with Mark about Bud's backyard, because it's close to the North parking deck. It's like right there. Apparently, and you know when you tell somebody about something and they get this whole like giggly, oh, in our friend group we know all about that. So, I mean, I didn't ask them, but my understanding is they've been back there.
Mm.
And there's a pool back there and all sorts of other stuff. But That was before when I was a little bit of an outsider to this whole group, and Chandler was more a part of the group than I was. So I assume Chandler's been in Bud's backyard. Of course, he hasn't.
Which sounds weird the way you say that, but okay.
Well, I mean, I associate him with this friend group, and this friend.
No, I mean Bud's backyard. Has Chandler
What, do you
been
wanna
in
say-
Bud's backyard?
I have not
He
been in
hasn't.
Bud's backyard.
Yeah, okay.
Well, would you rather say the
Speaking of
president's
Bud's backyard,
house
I was
backyard?
walking, or should I start from the very beginning?
Go whatever you want.
This morning I woke up and I was like, what do I want for breakfast? No. Okay, so we were walking, Owen and I were walking to 40 S&T, which is right across the street, but we had to go like around Bud's backyard
Yeah.
to get there, kind of the way toward the tennis courts. Kind of hook around. And as we were walking there, right on the street, right on 10th Street, there's red tape. It says, do not enter, danger. And it's pretty
Red
much blocked
tape?
off. Yeah, it's not even yellow, it's red. It's serious. Red. And it says, do not enter, it's blocked off so you can't, it's hard to even walk around it, let alone drive. Because there's that little thing where like little poles to block people from driving straight
Yeah.
through, but they can be lowered if you want to drive through. So it's blocked off, and Owen's like, no, let's just go through. And I was like, oh, I don't think they want us to go through. We walk through, and we see a guy in like a hoodie, and like I guess it was a little cold. So, he was wearing, like a hoodie and like a jeans maybe, and he had a metal bat. I was like, and this was, I guess I should have started from yesterday, because yesterday we went out to dinner on West Campus. We were going to go to Bar Taco. It was 2-pack. But the way we got there from here, we had to go down like the sketchiest street ever. And there were some people, look, Owen even admitted that we shouldn't have walked down that street. And it was like 8, maybe 9, it was about 8 o'clock, so it was dark. Anyway, that's irrelevant. So we had already gone down a sketchy street before, and now we're going down this area, which has danger, and we see a guy, we can't see his face, and he's got a metal bat. And we're walking toward him because that's the way we need to get to. And then he walks off somewhere else, out of sight. And we keep going, and then we go right before the track, we see another walled-off area. Danger, do not enter.
Well,
It's
that's the
same
other
thing.
side.
No,
right?
it's still facing this way. Hold on, because there's more.
This keeps
Go
going.
right after we.
Two layers
Oh
of
no,
security.
it keeps going, and then we walk past it again, and then we not bumped into the guy, but we end up seeing the guy, and we're now very close, like 5 feet apart. And we see the guy, and Owen says like, "Oh hey, can we go through?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's fine. I mean, just be careful." And we're like, "Okay." We were like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, there's a fox that's loose. And apparently, it's been like aggressive lately, and so we're just being careful." And we read the signs more closely, the danger signs. It also said animal rescue and preservation. This guy is not rescuing and preserving anything but a metal bat. It's just a guy with a bat. He's not rescuing and preserving anything. We keep going, and then right before we hit 4, there's another danger, do not enter. So I think it's like spaced out like every 20
It's just
feet.
preservation of human life.
It's, yeah. Well, just
Well,
animal.
I mean, foxes can be rabid, right? So
I assume it was rabid, and it attacked someone, I guess, last night or something. And this was this morning. It's like 10 o'clock, so I guess I don't know how they found out about it or whatever. But it's right there, and there's another sign, and he's just like, be careful. And I'm like, okay, that's good. There's just a rabid fox just going around. No one's like, it's fine.
I'm pausing on myself here. I don't know if we might mention it later in the episode, but it ended up coming out like not even a week that there was like there were a bunch of rabid foxes in that area. So I would not advise passing through a danger do not enter area. If it's marked off, you should probably go around it. But back when we were dumb, we did that. But yeah, it ended up being actually a pretty big deal. They closed off the whole area for a while, for like a few weeks. There were a lot of rabid foxes in that area. So, providing more context. But we'll keep going a little bit. Basically, once we wrap this up, once my past self wraps up this little bit of the story, we'll wrap up this commentary track. But okay.
Fine. I'm like, I don't know. We have one guy with a hoodie and a metal bat protecting us.
More scared of that than the fox.
I know, it was kind of sketchy, just walking toward him. Anyway, sorry, that's what happened.
What was that other story I was going to
No.
So anyway, why would you have sex on a hammer?
No, not well, like there was
No,
another.
you
You know what? That's probably a good time to end it there. So we're gonna finish up we're right around the 30-minute mark, 30 minutes and 30 seconds. So this last 25 minutes of this episode, in the last part of this commentary series. This is a three-parter. We're gonna get to the third part here. Again, this is episode number 33, Old Woman with Sticks. We got Chandler, Dan, and myself on. And yeah, if you guys have any comments, any answers to my questions about this, leave a comment here. Don't forget to leave a like on the YouTube video. If you listen on YouTube, we appreciate you. Leave a like, leave a comment, but also we want you to go to the other podcasts. If you download the podcast from whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts is being weird. I don't know why. And maybe I should have mentioned this on the last episode. It's posting it twice because I'm trying to post it to the podcast feed and to the regular like video playlist, but it ends up posting it twice. I don't know why. Maybe at some point I'll try to figure it out. Because it's not even showing up on the podcast, right? So I'm trying to figure that out. But anyway, if you listen on there, if you listen on Spotify, make sure you or if you listen to YouTube, make sure you download on one of those other one of those other platforms, because that actually helps us out better. YouTube is good, but we can't really. The way it works is all those other platforms, the views kind of aggregate together, whereas it doesn't count YouTube. So. As far as like sponsorships and stuff, we can't really count that unless we get a ton of YouTube views. So we kind of just have to pick one, but we get more on the podcast feed than we do on YouTube, just in general. So that's kind of why I'm leaning toward that. But anyway, thank you for listening, and don't forget to come back next week. We'll have another commentary track. Hopefully, we'll have some fresh episodes. I'm working on it. We might. This is kind of a bit of a tease, but we might have a live recorded episode. By that I mean recorded in person, an in-person recorded episode coming up. To be determined. We'll figure that out. But thank you for listening, and be sure to come back next week.